Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday 10 with CadChica Sports. I am Sunny Cadwallader, your host. Tuesday 10 is a quick 10-minute chat with leaders and up-and-comers in the world of sports, from media broadcasting, business marketing, social media, and more. Now, normally at this point of the show, I introduce my guest and I have them say their bio, but this show it might wind up being a total disaster, but it's a little bit of a twist tonight. We're turning the tables, peeling back the curtains, whatever you want. We're turning this into the Google Plus version of a Reddit AMA, but in this case it's Ask Me Almost Anything. When I started this show back in January, part of the emphasis of it was to bring in the voices mostly behind the scenes in the sports world, in the business and marketing area, in the media broadcasting, in the social media, education, you name it. That was the emphasis of this show. But as we've gone on and people have asked, they want to know more about me. Why, I don't know, but we're gonna answer your questions. We're answering the fan questions, and we have a large number of questions already. I am solo here, so I didn't even get to joke around and have fun with anybody in the green room beforehand. It's just been me. But we're gonna bring on the questions, and we'll see if I can keep it to 10 minutes. That is gonna be the goal. So let's get started with Debi Davis. She's going to ask me the obvious question: when did I realize my passion for sports? And I believe Heather Kraafter also asked that question as well. When did I realize my passion for sports? Well, I grew up in a sports family, and this is going to kind of answer Sherrill Duce's question as well. I grew up in a sports family, grew up playing sports. My mother played sports, all my two sisters and my brother played sports. And they excelled at it. My oldest sister went on to become a cheerleader, but we don't talk about that anymore. But yeah, so I grew up just being part of sports, and as I grew, I did want to get into broadcasting, and when I was in high school, but life had other ideas, and I went on to just work and take care of my family until a couple years ago when I found Twitter. And I realized that Twitter could help me have a voice in the conversation, because I am a passionate sports fan, but I'm not the fanatical type of sports fan. And so sports has just always been a part of who I am. Let's see, Debbie, with another question. What are your 5 favorite sports to follow, and in what order? Let's see, my 5 favorite sports to follow. I enjoy college football. I enjoy soccer. I do enjoy the NFL. I love MLS and EPL in soccer. Oh my goodness, I like baseball to some extent, not a whole lot. I like watching tennis. I do not like watching golf. I do not like watching NASCAR. So yeah, I don't know if that's 5 or not, Debbie, but you get the idea. And do I follow any non-team sports? Yes, I just said I do like tennis. I'll watch gymnastics on occasion. Not as much as a fan of ice skating as I used to be, but I did used to like that. So let's move on. Derrick Docket. Derrick, don't call me Darnell Docket. If you could be in charge of one major sports league, which one would it be? Why? And what would you immediately change about it? Well, Derrick, I was thinking about this as I was getting ready for the show here in the green room by myself, and I don't know that I want to be in charge of any sports league, because I don't want to stop being a fan. I don't want to stop being a fan of the Mariners. I don't want to stop being a fan of the Raiders. I don't want to stop being a fan of the Sounders or Tampa Bay Lightning or Arizona State. I don't want to stop being a fan. And I think if you have to be in charge of a league, you do have to rein in your own personal team preferences, and I don't ever want to lose that. This one from William King, I'm putting it up here, and if you guys can help me remember, I want to answer this one last because it impacted me a little bit as I was thinking about it. So I'm going to come back to that one last. John Martin, I'm glad you finally posted a question, John Martin. Which mentors and or role models have been influential in your career and why? Because, John, I started my career in sports and social media so late, in sports journalism and curation so late, I don't know that I really have any specific role models, mentors within the industry. As I was thinking, I was raised by a single mom, and so she worked hard to take care of all four of us and provide for us. My dad, he worked hard at Arizona State, so that's where my Arizona State fandom comes in. But so I just have this hard work ethic and a drive and a determination to get things done, to reach this goal that I've had in my heart since I was in high school of working in communications, sports, something to do with sports. I've had this in my heart, and so I'm just keep doing it. I've acquired a lot of friendships in the industry, and there's a few people, a small circle that I can bounce things off of, but role models or mentors, I don't know that I really have any there. So Krishna Day, she is not joining us live because she is in Ireland, so she is fast asleep, but she did want to ask a couple of questions. What is my own preferred social media channel for business, and what do you like the least? And those who know me know that Twitter is my favorite, but because of these Google Plus Hangouts and the ability to have a show, Google Plus it's like 1 and 1A right now between Twitter and Google Plus for me. My least favorite is Facebook. It's just, as far as from a business perspective, a small business perspective, it just hasn't done enough for me. There are also things with Instagram that I do not like, that I would love to change if I could with Instagram as far as a business goes, because I don't think it's as effective as people think. But because I prefer two-way communication, not one-way. So Twitter and Google Plus are king for me. And she also wanted to ask, what one tool do you find to be essential for managing your own social media channels and why? As far, when you use the word managing, because I was thinking about this, first I was going to say TweetDeck because of the listing capability and just the sheer ease of use. But when I thought about it, it's like when I'm on the go, whether I'm on the go or here at home, it's my phone. My phone is an essential tool for staying up to date on sports news, or if I'm out covering a live event like a football game, I can just use my phone to tweet, take pictures, take video, whatever. So that's a key one for me. Heather Kraafter from Montana. I did already answer your passion question, but I did like if you were stranded all alone on a desert island, which team would you still be rooting for? Well, Heather Kraafter, I did post a picture of all of because I was gonna wear a few of my sports items because I didn't think I had that many sports apparel related items, and then I started grabbing them, and I don't know if you can see, I put a whole bunch of shirts behind me, and there's even a few below, but there was only one shirt that matters, and you know, it's the Raiders, and that's the one team that I would be rooting for. Everybody else would fall by the wayside. So Sherrill, I'm so glad you got your questions in, Sherrill. Sherrill is one of the people that has been bugging me for more information. What sports, if any, did you play as a child? I'll answer that one first, Sherrill. I played softball in a league. They didn't have a whole lot of, I'm so old, they didn't have a whole lot of club teams and specialized stuff when I was little, but I ran track during the PE. Did you play high school or collegiate sports, and what? In high school, I did play volleyball and softball. I did a little bit of track. Did not go on to college. Is football your main love when it comes to sports? If you're talking about an overall sport, yeah, depends on which type of football you're talking about. I'll put it that way. What is my favorite color? My favorite color changes a lot. right now, let's just say we'll call it black. How's that? What is the happiest moment of my life? And if you could vacation anywhere, uh, where would it be? And have you ever been there? Goodness. And she also asked one more question. What do you want to be remembered for? Well, the happiest moment of my life. Oh gosh, that was such a tough one. I was, I could say all the days, the 3 days that my kids were born. Day I got married, day I was born. But the more I think about it, the more I just want to take in every moment. And so every day that I actually wake up, Sherrill, that's a happy moment because you get another opportunity to live a good day, live a good life, and make a difference that day, whether it's in your child's life or someone else's life. As far as vacationing anywhere, Google Bora Bora, and you'll know why. What do I want to be remembered for? That I made a difference. That I made a difference. Let's see. I know we are just having a good old time here, aren't we? It's hard doing these things by yourself. Let's see. Who's got another question? Hope I didn't miss anybody. Oh, there we go. Bob. Hey, Bob. Bob McKamey. If you were given the opportunity to lead the social media efforts for any individual athlete, college team, and pro team, which ones would you choose and why? You almost stumped me, Bob, because at first I'm like, I don't really like that idea. But then now as I'm thinking about it, maybe I would want to do the Raiders because they are my #1 team, and I would love to bring that passion and that zest and that zeal that I have for the Raiders. Maybe I'd want to bring that into there. But then I also thought, Mexico's coach Miguel Herrera is just an absolute blast to watch on the sidelines. And if you check out his social media channels, he gets it on his own. But I would love to help him out. And I mean, my Spanish is minimal, muy poquito. But I would love to have a chance to work with him on that right now because he's becoming a star, a social media star, and just a World Cup star during this tournament. Let's see. Anybody else have any questions? Oh, Debi Davis, I'm sorry. What's wrong with cheerleaders? I should have you on the show, Debi, so you can talk about the time that you were a cheerleader for a professional team. So we should do that. We should do that. Great question. Thanks, everyone, for all of the commentary. And I am going to come back. See, I didn't even need you guys to remind me. I'm going to come back to this question. And I'm going to take a little bit of a twist on it. I'm going to take liberties on it. And our 10 minutes is way past. If you could interview any athlete from your favorite sport, either a current player or retired player, who would you choose and what would be the #1 question you would ask them? And William, it was hard for me to pick out one athlete, current or retired. Reason being, I'm not a fan of athletes per se. I am not a fan of necessarily the person because I don't know the person. What I do know is what they do on their respective court, pitch, field. If I had to choose somebody current, it would be probably Lionel Messi. I love the way he plays the game of soccer, football, football, whatever you want to call it. I am a big fan of how he plays the game. And he is an elusive star. He does not do a lot of interviews, but I would like to speak with him and maybe find out a little bit more, dig a little deeper as to what really drives him. I'm fascinated with people and what makes them tick. So that is one thing I would probably want to find out about someone current. But the more I thought about it, William, the more I thought I don't want it to just be current or retired. I would want to interview somebody. If I had to pick alive, dead or alive, I'd want to interview and I think you would appreciate this, William. Roberto Clemente. There, he was a humanitarian. He was a puzzle on during his playing days. He's very emotional Puerto Rican, but he died giving back to his people for the country he loved, and I would want to interview him. And you recently posted something about him on Google Plus, and I'm Chris Syme prediction for Sunday, USA. Yes, for tomorrow. Yes, I'll predict USA. But William, I want to close with this, William, because you put this on your a Google Plus post, and in a way, it sums up my passions, who I am, and where I'm going to be headed. I think if God has anything to say about it, this is where I'm going to be headed. You posted a quote from Roberto Clemente. If you have a chance to make a difference in this world, and you don't, you are wasting your time on this earth. And that is me in a nutshell. I am very critical of myself. I expect the best from myself. I am a perfectionist, but in the end, I want to make a difference in this world. I want to make a difference with this show. I want to make a difference with my social media. I may not always do it every single day, but that is the bottom line. That is my goal. And thank you, everyone, for your questions. Thank you for tuning in. And be sure to join us next week for the next Tuesday 10 with CadChica Sports.